Welcome to the pacing tip of the month. This month, I'd like to talk about a method of structuring your day which can make structuring a lot easier. It's about thinking of activities in terms of blocks of activities, represented here by Lego. So, with this method, activities are split into two groups: life necessities and more optional activities. And rest breaks actually go under life necessities here. So life necessities will be things like trips to the toilet, eating, some degree of personal care. And if you're living alone, then cooking and some degree of housework will also be necessary. Exactly how these things are done will depend on how ill you are. If you're very ill, personal care might be done by somebody else with you lying in bed. In this example, I'm going to use moderate ME as an example, just to make things simple. Now, your life necessity blocks might be like these. One for the life necessities form a framework for your day, and you plan the rest of your day around those activities. So we can try to build a day here. This will be your morning routine, like brushing your teeth and getting dressed. Here comes breakfast, then lunch, a larger one for dinner, then an evening snack, and finally your bedtime routines. Around these necessities, you'll plan some daily rests. And for most people, that might be shorter rest between each activity and perhaps a longer midday one. Now, if I try to place short rests between all these, there isn't going to be room. So we'll just imagine that the short rests are there, and I'll put in the long rest before lunch as an example. So then comes planning the rest of your day. Now, these activities can be swapped around a little, but you can't get rid of them. If you drop a meal, eventually you're going to drop. So we plan the optional activities between them. That exactly how many and long activity periods that will be will depend entirely on how ill you are. So this is just an example. But you might have two short activities between breakfast and lunch, and then one big and two small activities between lunch and dinner, and then another two small activities between dinner and your evening snack. And then the day will have to bend over a little here. So the advantages of this system is that it makes planning a lot easier. With an ME brain, it's not easy to fill an empty day. It can be unachievable to organize that. But here you've got several fixed points throughout the day, and in reality, only 7 things to worry about. You've got 6 small and 1 large activity, and that's an achievable planning project. So, for instance, if a large activity for you is grocery shopping, then you might do that in the afternoon, like here. But if today's activity is a doctor's appointment, it might be in the morning, so you could then swap them and do the large activity in the morning and move these two here. Or if your big activity is a visit from a friend in the evening, you might move these back and then do this instead. Also, your small activities are not fixed, so if you don't want to do this, you could swap it for something else. with this system, you can make some sort of a weekly routine where you fill some of your periods with things that need to be done, such as bill paying. So you might have one bill paying session per week, and then you could have another one which is designated for a treat, and perhaps one for physical activity and another for social activity, and so on. So you could achieve variation in a very simple way. What you cannot do with this system is, for instance, to swap all your small activities for large activities, or do the same activity in all your small activity periods, because although the total amount will be the same as before, you'll likely overuse one body part and end up feeling really ill. Another thing you can't do is suddenly swap everything for a huge activity. Now, you might do that occasionally, but if you do it all the time, you'll likely get really ill. However, in order for this to work, all your activities need to stay within your energy limits. You've got to stop each activity while they're still able to go on, and then have a rest and do only as much of the next activity to remain stable symptom-wise. If you get worse and worse throughout the day, it's a sign that you're overdoing things, and then the routine will likely make you more and more ill. So you need to scale things down so that you go to bed with some energy left over. If you don't have anything left over, it's a sign that you either have too many activities or too long activities, or perhaps not enough variation. Now, you may panic a little at the thought of having to restrict yourself to something you are actually well enough to do. However, when we do that, our symptoms tend to calm down so much that we get more efficient. Also, a lot of people are very much up and down, so you might do a lot on a Monday and then crash for a few days. With this system, you do a little bit every day, and most people actually achieve more by doing that, not less. So it's often more a question of rearranging activities rather than doing less in total. I hope you found this useful. I'll be back next month. Thanks for watching.